Hello and welcome back to Mapping Top Gear. We are looking at episode 9 of season 1, and we will jump right into it. We're going to be looking at a couple different locations today, but we will be staying in the British Isles again. So let's jump right in.
You wouldn't dream of putting a child in a car unless it had its own monogrammed, personalised airbag and its own seatbelt. So that means each child needs its own seat.
Is that who I think it is? So I actually don't know how many kids Clarkson has. I think it's 3, but that looks very similar to Emily Clarkson or M. Clarkson. So she is one of the only, I think she's one of Clarkson's only kids that kind of remained in the public eye. If I remember correctly, she had a podcast at one point. Maybe she still does. I think she wrote a book. And if you keep up with Drive Tribe on YouTube, they at one point did an interview with her. So she is somewhat in the public eye. But that looks very similar to her. So I wonder if this is actually her being featured in an episode. I don't know. Interesting.
And that's where one of these comes in. A people carrier.
Okay, so this is actually going to be a 3-car segment. I'm going to put all of these at one specific spot in the map, but I'm going to tie it to 3 different cars. So he starts with this Renault Espace, which he calls it an Espace. To me, it looks like E-Space. However, this is a French company, so I'm going to kind of follow Clarkson's lead. I've also been kind of looking online to see how other people are saying it, and I haven't found a video on YouTube of an American saying the name of this car, so I would assume that an American would call it a Renault Espace, even though it looks like it's E-Space, whatever. So he takes a Renault Espace, and he's driving kind of in a quaint town, and it's weird because it cuts back and forth from him driving these cars around, back to the studio where they are actually recording the audience segments live. But in the end, at the end of the whole like bigger portion of the segment, we kind of find what the actual car that he is doing the main test on is, and so we'll go ahead and look at that.
So let's recap. Okay, people carriers, uncool. Big off-roaders, wasteful. Grass and gravel off-roaders, impractical.
So we're stuck?
Not anymore, we're not.
The Volvo XC90. So what he does in this segment is he basically more or less compares a Renault Espace, a Toyota Land Cruiser, and then a Volvo XC90 ultimately. Now, if you watch the episode back, let me be transparent for a second. So with the way that my schedule's been in recording these episodes and editing them, I have been running into some issues with copyright, and the way that I was recording some of these episodes previously, I was talking while having Top Gear playing in the background with no volume, and I thought I could get away with that, but I kept getting copyright errors whenever I was uploading the video, so I've got to be a little bit better about that. I can still show clips, but I'm still trying to figure out how much I can show of like the actual Top Gear show, as opposed to me just talking, and as opposed to me clicking and scrolling around on Google Earth. So I'm still playing around with that. I do still want to show clips because it does actually pertain to us trying to figure out exactly where these filming locations were. But for this specific category, we're going to name it Renault Espace, Toyota Land Cruiser, Volvo XC90, and kind of just combine them together.
It doesn't work off-road, it's vast, it's thirsty, and it's not very nice to drive.
So, what's the big deal? Well, to understand, I've come to Jurassic Park in the Cotswolds. You see, this is the sort of place that families come to.
If I'm not mistaken, Clarkson ends up buying a Volvo XC90 in real life later on. I don't know if he had it at this point. I actually have an aunt who used to own a Volvo, and I know that it used to give her problems as far as when she needed to have it fixed. The parts were pretty expensive. I mean, it is Swedish, so parts are a little bit rarer, and she lives kind of in rural Tennessee, so she always had issues trying to find parts for it, if I remember correctly. That being said, though, I've always thought the XC90 was a really handsome car, and it has looked good for a while now. Like, they have consistently made it look like a really good SUV. In fact, the Volvo XC90 was a car that my wife at one point was considering buying. I don't know how reliable XC90s are. I do see a lot of them around, but as far as looks go, it's a pretty handsome car and has been for a while.
So the back is huge. It'll take anything in here up to a horse. So it has no problem at all with my lizard. Okay, Sally, out. Out. Come on. Oi, come on, out. Sally, out. This is the trouble with monitor lizards. They are so disobedient. You can't teach them anything. 17 years old, she doesn't even understand sit.
So he's revealed to us previously that he's at some kind of, well, he refers to it as Jurassic Park. After doing some deductive concluding, I believe I have found exactly where he's filming this at. So let me find the specific spot where we can match up. Okay, so he drives it through these gates, which turn out to be the entrance to the Cotswold Wildlife Park and Gardens near Burford, England. And I'm going to pull this up on Google Maps. So when this comes up, we actually do see, I don't know if this is I couldn't figure out earlier if this was like a drive-through type attraction, because it's becoming more and more popular nowadays that you have, it's like drive-through wildlife exhibits where you pay to drive your car through an area that has animals like, rhinos, elephants, giraffes, and, well, maybe not rhinos, maybe not rhinos, but giraffes, deer, zebras, stuff like that, the more tamer stuff. I don't think this is one like that, because it does look like there's places where you walk around, but this is some kind of like a wildlife zoo. I guess they call it a wildlife park. This is more or less a zoo in the Cotswolds. And so to kind of zoom out here, we are close to, we're directly south of Burford. There's a separate screenshot that I was able to match up specifically in Burford, but he actually stops here at the wildlife park, the Cotswold Wildlife Park and Gardens. So I'm going to put that into the Earth file, and as further evidence, we can come in here. Let's plop that guy right there. So he was going in through that gate, correct? And it's kind of hard to, I can't get over there. Here's that gate right here. So this is what I'm matching up with this, and it looks basically the same. It's even got a little sign here still on the actual gate door itself. It's got this same little ball design at the top. I think we can pretty much deduct that this matches up.
Is the kind of car they'll want to come in.
Okay, on top of that, I think we can pretty much deduct also this castle looking, I don't know if this is like the gift shop or just the main ticket building. This looks pretty similar to this right here. It looks like we're not looking at the exact same side as what's being shown right here in this shot, but I mean, this building looks basically identical to this. So this should confirm it. Also, in the episode, he's looking at like rhinos and stuff
in the Cotswolds. You see, this is the...
See, there's rhinos right here at the front. There's rhinos also here, which this is very interesting. How is this set up? Because there's rhinos in this area right next to this building. Okay, so I assume that this is the building then that he's filming in front of.
Want to come in.
There we go. This matches up. 3 windows, 3 windows. A curved section, a curved section. Yeah, this matches up. So he was filming right here. So we will place our marker right here in our Earth file. There we go. Cotswold Wildlife Park and Gardens. So if we kind of zoom out, what is this close to? It's close to where he... What was this? An Aston Martin that he tested. And then Woodstock. This was Daw looking at a Peugeot 206. But again, we are keeping with the theme of them driving pretty far from the Top Gear test track to record these segments. Which again, I thought there would be so many dots around here, like very close to where their office was. Oh well.
TVR. Cool. No, again, you're wrong. Uncool. And I'll explain why, if I may, okay? TVRs, as we know, they're for men whose trousers are creeping up a bit.
You know the time of life?
About there. Time of life. The gap between the nipple and the waistband is just starting to come down a little bit. So I'm afraid that's why it's uncool. Anyone else got any objections to that? Yes. Yeah, you again. Who is it now?
Look at it, it's lovely. You can't say that's uncool, and it comes in yellow. What? Soda bananas? Soda, I mean, what? Everything yellow is cool. No, it's not.
Talking of yellow, where do we put this? It's a Polo.
Cool. It's cool.
No,
that's a cool car.
Wrong. Cool car.
Euro chic.
Euro chic.
Don't take
Agree with me?
It's cool.
Thank you.
Thank you
very
drive?
cool.
What do you drive?
Jeep Wrangler Sport, but I did have a Polo before.
Jeep Wranglers are dreadful cars, but cool. See, that is what we keep trying to explain, isn't it? It doesn't matter what they're like to drive.
Okay, like, this just goes to show you that Jeremy Clarkson berates the audience all the way back to season 1. So maybe I just forgot about this. One of my favorite segments of Top Gear, whenever I first started watching it, was the Cool Wall, just because it's so fun just to listen to their banter. I mean, anytime Clarkson and Hammond argue about anything, of course it's funny. But it's also very funny to hear Clarkson argue with the audience, because he'll have an opinion and somebody in the audience won't agree with it. And he'll go straight to them with a microphone, put it right up in their face, like, and just like dare them to say something against his opinion. But what's funny is the fact that he was doing this in season 1 also. I didn't remember that he was doing that. He has been berating the audience during this Cool Wall segment the entire show. I don't think they did the Cool Wall past a certain season. I'm forgetting off the top of my head which season they stopped it in. I feel like around season 13, 14, 15, you didn't see it anymore after that. But going all the way back to season 1, he is still berating the audience.
Very, very nice. Now, obviously, they're not going to make a family version of that. No, Family Man is doomed to drive Volvos, like the one we saw earlier on, to wear slippers and to slowly go beige. Or you could have one of these, a Subaru Forester.
All right, we've got a Hammond road test actually an off-road test of a Subaru Forester. And we're going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit to a specific screenshot I want to show you. So we get to this screen, and maybe if you're local to this area, or actually probably a lot of British people watching this probably will recognize this. This area is actually called Stourhead, and this is close to Wiltshire, England. And we're going to zoom in on specifically where this is. So this is the estate of Stourhead, and from what I understand, it's just a very elegant estate and mansion that is visitable and is kind of a popular place for people to go and see. Now, if we're going to try to map this exact, he is in this shot, which this kind of helps us. So he's got this big structure back here, but he's on specifically a big gravel lot, and there's another something back here. So that's how we can kind of use to pinpoint exactly where he is. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that this building back here is the Pantheon. This building right here. I'm just trying to figure out where exactly he took this shot. So we're looking at this from, I assume this is this would be a little southeast of this. Well, I have been looking here for quite some time, and I thought this was Stourhead, although I have not been able to specifically pinpoint and match up a location with that screenshot specifically from the show. There's a new screenshot I'm looking at here where he's standing in front of a smaller house, but this doesn't look like the Stourhead house. This is way too small to be the Stourhead house. Well, to be honest, guys, I am not 100% sure now, because this is supposed to be the Pantheon, although I cannot figure out for the life of me what angle was used. Like, where was this car parked to get this shot? This makes no sense because the columns of this supposed Pantheon building, based on this shot would be like right here. But I don't know where he's standing. I've been looking all throughout here. There's this figure back, like there's another column back here. And I just cannot for the life of me figure out where this is. I've looked here. I've looked the British High Cross. It's not this, because this is like a singular structure. Also, there's no gravel around this, unless that's changed in the past. Maybe it used to be gravel surrounding this. Like, this just does not geographically match up with this. Yeah, it's similar, but this looks like it's at the side of the building. Because it looks like the roof is curving up. I have now put this through 2 different AIs, and they're both saying that it's Stourhead. Although I just cannot... I can't figure it out. Unfortunately, though, I'm running out of time. I have got to go to bed because I have to wake up super early in the morning. So I'm just going to... For now, I'm going to have to put it at Stourhead on the map, on the Google Earth doc. But it is very possible that is not correct. Okay, so Stourhead is right here. Again, the Pantheon building is right here. It seems that he's taking this shot from like right here or maybe over here. But again, geographically, it just makes no sense because he's standing in front of some kind of structure. He's standing in front of... Well, he's standing in front of this. And there's no gravel area that I can see. I don't know. This is going to be yet another situation where I am asking the internet, please, British people, anybody that lives around here, feel free to leave me a comment, and I will update the map on my end. So yeah, I'm going to put it right there for right now. But I was looking up here at this house. I mean, this is the main, I think this is the main mansion, the actual mansion building. And then the grounds where you can explore are more down here. But yeah, I had, again, I wrote down my notes that it's Stourhead, but I have just not been able to match up specifically with this location. So maybe it's not Stourhead. Maybe I'm completely off.
50 seconds. Same as me, ladies and gentlemen. That's an epic time.
They actually did get a fair amount of big name stars for this first series. Now, it could be that back in 2001, these celebrities weren't as big name as they are now, like Gordon Ramsay. But assuming he was somewhat of a star, I mean, that's a pretty big get for them for season 1 of Top Gear.
Now we are getting close towards the end here. We're on the final straight. I think Tom's feeling more confidence. He should be able to, and he is. He's edging past the Stig.
This is interesting because, so I didn't remember them doing this either in season 1, but they did actually do one of their crazy challenges where they race a car against something, like in this situation, an aerobatic plane. And so, yeah, the acrobatic plane actually wins, I believe.
And there he swooped, and he's only making it around faster. The plane's got to climb so high there to lose speed. That means the Stig is inching across. Will he get over the line first, or will Tom swoop down on him? And there he swooped, and he's won. Stig comes second.
Yeah, I mean, the plane wins, but, I mean, still, it's pretty cool that they were able to do these types of challenges back in season 1. It's crazy. Like, Top Gear, at its core, it never really changed. Like, they were still doing these type of crazy challenges throughout the entire series, throughout the entire show.
1 minute, 19 seconds.
So that ends it. That ends the episode. And again, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out this specific Stourhead screenshot, but I didn't really ever get anywhere with that. So we will keep it at that for right now. That's going to end it for episode 9. Next week we have our season finale. It's going to be a little bit of a bigger episode because we have. I want to count up all the amount of times that each car company was featured in the first season, and we'll see which car company was featured the most. So, see you then. Take care. Good night.
Mentally exhausted, had interest, but I think I lost it. Think I just sit in this chair, fully aware that I'm lethargic. I'm drained, this is so lame. Can't shake these feelings out of my brain. Why is trying to do the right thing so tiring, but effortless to sin and be vain. Wanna play a game on my PS5, but I just had a hard conversation about some nonsense I couldn't let fly. Definitely not a stranger to confrontation. No rage, just a little frustration, but hate the fact that I was involved. Rather spend my time in relaxation. Instead I'm met with problems to solve. Got me wondering, am I creating any difference at all? Cause when I try to speak the right call, they treat me like a referee. Y'all didn't see the foul ball? Am I ranting? My fault. Didn't mean to put this all on y'all. I'll suck it up and get back to biz. Lackluster season just needs salt. Yeah, right. Many people don't voice a thing cause they think that nobody cares. I know different cause God's up there, but wish people understood my affairs. I'm just a man, yeah, I'm walking my path, but I promise you it ain't easy. You worry about the struggles that everybody sees, but internal ones are more deadly. Seems like with all that I'm dealing, really got me deep in my feelings. Pressure all around me building, can't tell the floor from the ceiling. Seems like with